Hi guys, welcome to Charities Bubble USA, your number one channel. I am here. I have brought the guest. I know you have been waiting for this video. I have brought the guest and she's here. But before that, I want to thank you for watching my videos. I also want to thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. So I have Anne here. She's going to tell us about her green card journey. So I'm just going to sit and ask her just a little bit of questions without interrupting. And then we're going to hear her. I know that some people have been asking me about a video about someone who is single. If I know someone who has come in, they're single and they have a child. Now, Anne is going to be here and tell us, did she face any challenges when she was doing her, when she won her green card, what was her process until maybe she got a house and all that. And of course, she's going to tell you if I'm treating her nicely. So guys, sit tight. I'm going to let Anne introduce herself. So Anne.
Okay, my name is Anne Nyagozi Wabogo. I'm very new here in the US. I have 3 weeks since I arrived. And I'm enjoying the Wichita. I'm in Wichita, Kansas, and I'm enjoying the weather. It's too cold, but I hope I will adapt.
Yeah. So Anne, how did you come to the US?
Oh, I want green card. First of all, I filled my green card on the year 2020.
Can you be a little bit louder, just a little bit?
Yeah. I filled my green card on October, the year 2020, and then I got my results on the May 2021. I started the process at July since I checked my. When I found that I was selected, I filled my DS-260 at July. And then I got to go for my interview in 2022. 2022, that's when I went for my medicals.
So let me stop here a little bit, Anne.
Yeah.
So you have filled out your green card, right?
Yeah.
And you have been selected. How did you check? Did you check in the sidebar or where did you check for you?
No, I just used my phone.
Oh, you checked on your phone?
Yeah.
So how was the feeling?
The feeling was so good. I couldn't sleep for days. And I was expecting to move to the United States of America the next day.
Oh,
I didn't know it was the process. I thought I would move to America the following day. I didn't know how. I thought green card was free and everything was free.
So take us through the process. Now you have won. There is all this excitement. How long did it take for you to fill out your DS-260?
It took me like 1 month since I didn't have my daughter's passport. Initially, when I was applying on the 2020, I had my passport. The requirement was you had to submit using your passport.
Right.
So by then, when I got selected, I didn't have my daughter's passport, so I had to apply. And in Kenya, it takes long. So it took me a month to get my daughter's passport so that I can fill for her the DS-260.
Okay, so the DS-260 is filled out for each person, right? Not only the person who has won the green card.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So you have filled out your DS-260. After I filled out your DS-260, did you have to mail it or did you just leave it online when it was filled out?
Or you just fill the DS-260 and you fill it online. And then you submit, and that was all. Now you wait for if your case. Now it will depend with your case number from there. Yeah, if your case number is too low, you get your interview's date a bit earlier than maybe someone who has a higher case number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're waiting. So did you wait for a long time before you got your 2NL?
Yeah, I filled my DS-260. I filled my DS-260 at July 2021, and I got my interview at 2022 August.
2022 August. So it took a whole year.
Yeah, it took
because and why I'm asking that is because there are some people who are like, I won, when will I get my 2NL or whatever. Do you know like when you're gonna get it, or do you just like anticipate or just be patient and wait?
You have to be patient. although in the website, what do we call it? The website,
travel.state.gov.
Yeah. You'll be there's a way that you'll be checking.
Yes.
You'll be checking whether your number is nearer.
Yeah.
And
if it's current,
you can predict from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's important, guys, and that's why I normally like to do the visa bulletin, because you look at your case number, right, and then you gauge and you can tell wherever you are.
Yeah.
So now you have gotten your 2NL. How was it sent to you?
I got an email. From there, the email had indicated that what I was required to have before I get to the interview date.
Okay. So the 2NL, so it's through the email, because there are some people who are like, how do I get it? How do they contact me?
Yeah, they send you an email.
And did they send you in the email that you used when you did your first application?
Yeah.
So it was the same email.
Yeah, it's the same email.
Yeah, it's important, guys, because you have, like, that email is very, very important, because that's the only way that you're going to be contacted. So you have gotten your 2NL. What were the requirements? What did they require you to have before you went to the embassy?
They required me to first do my medicals before I go to the embassy. They required me to have my passports, both, because I had freed me and my daughter. They required me to have both passports. They required us to go with the DS260 copy that we filled. They required to go with a 2x2 photo, passport photo,
right?
And they required us to go with is it 330 US dollars
for the passport.
Yeah, for the fee, for the interview fee.
Okay. Yeah. So and then for the medical, so did you pay when you went? You were required to go for the medical first, right?
Yeah.
So where did you guys go for the medical? Any hospital? Where did they tell you where to go?
Yeah, they had specified. They had recommended that we go to the IOM. Yeah, the IOM facility. And that's when we went. You also book there. It's not a walk-in. You have to book before you go.
And when you book, you have to specifically tell them that it's a green card, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also there they will give you requirements of what they need before you go.
So what do you need to go for the medical?
For the medical, you need to go with your passport. You will need to go with your DS260 form. You also need to have been vaccinated COVID. You have a certificate for the COVID vaccination.
So you can't refuse.
Yeah, you can't. And it has to be 2 weeks before you go to the interview.
Okay.
Yeah, that one you have to have. And then from there they had given us a limit of like 42, is it for 50,000 each to have, although we didn't take like 50,000 Kenya shillings, it was lesser, but they tell you to have like 50,000 for each
person.
Yeah.
So you've gone for your medical and you're done with your medical, and then after the medical, did it take long for you to go to the interview, or did you have like a specific date that they told you that you were going to go for the interview?
For the medical, you are not given a specific day, but before you have to get like so that your results can be sent to the embassy. You have to, before you go to the embassy, you have to go before you have to look for a time that if my results, maybe I'm told to repeat the process of the medical. You have to look for and to create time for yourself.
Okay.
You create time, so as if you are told to repeat, you still have time before the interview date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And then now, let me talk about something that's very important before we go to the interview. By the time you are going to IOM, did you already have a host?
First of all, when I was feeding my DS260, you have to feed your DS260 with a host.
Can you maybe a little bit louder?
Yeah, and a host, to have a host, it's not just a host. A host has to be a US citizen. And the host has to accept, because there are documents they have to send to you, so that you can go with them to the interview. and those two, they are very delicate documents. So some other hosts
They refuse.
Yeah, they refuse.
Let's say that. Let's be honest and say they refuse.
Yeah, they refuse. Yeah, they refuse.
So did you have a challenge? Because initially when you won your green card, I understand that you had a different host, right?
Yeah.
And then you contacted me, and then and then we went from there. That's a different story, right?
Yeah.
So so you had so when you had a host, what was the challenge that you met with your previous host? Was it the documents, or did they say that they didn't want to host you, or what happened?
My hosts didn't come out straight.
Uh-huh.
They didn't talk whether they would give me or not.
Uh-huh.
They kept telling me we'll do it, we'll fill the documents. And they never turned up.
So they didn't turn up, like they made empty promises, in other words, right? So that could be a challenge for someone who has won a green card, and especially if someone doesn't want to send their documents, right? And I'm glad that I was there to help.
I was lucky to find you.
So when you were filling out, when you were texting me to ask me whether I could host you or whatever, how like did you expect that I would respond, or what were your thoughts?
I didn't have anyone. Though I knew some people here in the US, but I was not sure whether they have the documents required. That was the 1040 and the I-134. Those documents, people can be in the US and they don't have those.
And they don't have those documents. They can.
So I knew some didn't have. I approached some and I knew they didn't have. And for sure they told me they don't tax. Yeah, they don't file taxes. So for me, what I did, I was looking for anyone. I was so desperate.
So what
I was so desperate, and then I was praying, and I think God answered my prayers because I think I'm in the right place.
So what gave you the courage to contact me? Because you know there are so many YouTubers, and you know there are so many like. What gave you the courage?
It was just God. It was destined by God. I don't know, but I think it was just God. It was just God.
Okay.
And then I used to love your channel so much. There are so many YouTubers, but I used to love this.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to follow each and every content that you make and you post on your YouTube. I used to love your channels. And guys, if you would like to come to the US, if you'd like to win, the green card, follow Charity Bubbles USA. It's the best channel, and this is what guided me to get to the US. Green card is a process.
It is.
And when I was following this channel, I got a lot of information, and that has really helped me.
It has helped you.
Yeah.
And of course, you got a host.
Yeah, and I got a host from watching her channel.
Yeah, we are doing this video in our living room here in the US.
Yeah.
So Anne, let's talk about your interview. When you went for the interview, did you have any challenges?
Yeah, I had.
So let's first of all talk about what did you need to go with to the interview. Did you need different documents, or were they the same ones that you were going for your medical?
It's the same one. Yeah, I just needed to go with the same documents. A green card, it has each and every stop has its own challenges. But before we get the interview, you also needed to verify the KCSE certificate.
Oh, you have to verify your KCSE certificate.
Yeah, you have to verify your KCSE certificate, which you do immediately you get your 2NL. Those are the things that you do first. You book your medicals. You book for your you verify your KCSE certificate.
Tell us a little bit more about verifying. So because there's someone maybe who is in the village, and and I want to talk about this because I've talked to Anne, and Anne was telling me that there are some people who are out there and they don't know nothing about green cards. And that's why it's important for us to understand what is verifying. For the purpose of that person who doesn't know what is verification.
Yeah, verifying. They have it's matter concerning with the Kenya National Examination Council.
A little bit louder.
It's the matter concerning Kenya National Examination Council. You go to their website. They have a website. You go and apply. You apply for your verification. it's also a process,
Mm-hmm.
and they have stages.
Mm-hmm.
You apply and you upload your certificate.
Okay.
You scan it and you upload it. You send to them, and they verify whether they find you.
Oh, so in other words, they verify if it's a true one
It's
or
a
if
genuine,
it's a fake one.
it's a genuine certificate.
Yeah, that's the right word. If
Yeah,
it's genuine.
yeah.
And then when they verify it, do they give you the results straight to the embassy, or do they send them to the embassy?
They send themselves to the embassy.
So they are the ones who are going to send your documents to the embassy.
And you pay 2,320.
I thought it was free.
No, it's not free.
It's not free.
It's not free.
So
You
verification.
pay, you pay for it.
And you have a passport when you're
Yeah.
going for the interview.
Yeah.
And how much money?
According to Kenya, money is 42,000.
It's 42,000.
Yeah.
So you have gone for your interview. So how was that morning for you? Walk us through. Tell us how that morning was.
It was first of all a wrong night.
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of butterflies, and then we arrived at the embassy at our interview. We were supposed to be at the embassy at 6:30.
Uh-huh.
Of course, we arrived at 5.
Mm-hmm.
We are there at 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were checked in.
Mm-hmm.
We were screened. There's a lot of security check.
Uh-huh.
You get a lot of security check before you get to the interview room,
Mm-hmm.
and then we stayed for quite some like an hour
Uh-huh.
before we are called in.
Mm-hmm.
And when we are called in, there was nothing much.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave out my documents.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change my host.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to change my host.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I met a very good lady who agreed to change me my host address.
So you told her.
Yeah.
So you told her that you needed to change the address for your host.
Yeah. On the day of the interview, I changed my host, and they agreed to change for me my host.
Uh-huh.
And then I was told to pay, and then I was called to counter 6. Never forget.
So you pay first.
Yeah, you pay first before
Okay.
you go to the interview.
Okay.
So I was just asked 3 questions actually.
Uh-huh.
I was asked for my names.
Uh-huh.
I was asked who is my host.
Uh-huh.
I was asked which high school did I attend.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
But let's go back, Anne, because we talk the truth here, because the challenges were there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that challenge,
Yeah.
because that one, like, even myself personally, I was very worried when you texted me and you told me that they required more information about your daughter. And it's good to talk about it, because most people are like, I have my kids, and their dad, maybe I'm by myself. So like, how does that go about? Did you need any verification for you, or did you just go there and tell them that this is my daughter, and they gave you the passport without asking a question?
Yeah. Before even to get back, before I went to the interview, the lady who was checking my documents, she asked me whether I have the dad's consent to my dad.
So he asked about the dad's consent.
Yeah. And I told her I don't have, because the birth certificate is he's not even included in my daughter's birth certificate.
Sing there, guys. So when you went for your interview, we are there, and you had this challenge about your daughter. So they asked about the dad and everything. So how did that go? Or at what point did they ask about the consent of the dad?
Immediately I gave out my documents. The lady who was correcting immediately. The time I entered in the interview room, the lady who was collecting my documents asked for the dad's consent.
Okay.
Which I said I did have. And then I just tried to explain to her, from the birth certificate, according to the Kenyan law, if the dad is not there, you don't include them. Yeah. Yeah. So I had not included the dad of my daughter in the birth certificate. So I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. Okay. Yeah. But was it a big deal? Yeah, it was. It turned to be a very big deal, right? Yeah, it turned to be a very big deal. So did they give you, when you told them that you didn't have the consent, because it's important even for our viewers to know, did they just give you the passport and that was it, or did they ask for more information? After the lady took my documents, and I was called to counter 6 to go for the little interview now. The guy just asked me 3 questions, and then I saw him pick a yellow paper, and I knew this was.
What? Yeah, I remember you texting me and telling me you got a yellow paper.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck is a yellow
They
paper?
just gave me a yellow paper,
Uh-huh.
which is that paper means it will require
You
them
need
to have
more
a,
to.
yeah,
They need more information.
yeah, they need additional information for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they stated very well that they did see my the NEC had not sent my
Your verification.
my verifications which I had done. That was not my fault. That one I had already done. I had to repeat it again. And then again.
So when you repeated the concept, I mean the verification, did you have to pay again?
Yeah, I did pay again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did pay again.
So it cost you like 5,000
Yeah.
shillings. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. I had to verify again.
Uh-huh.
And then, so concerning the that consent, I asked the interviewer, the consular, now what do I do? He told me, and you have to get a court letter. And I told him, but my daughter's certificate doesn't have the dad's name. And that is according to the Kenyan law. We don't put men who are not available. And then he just told me, and you have whatever you are telling me has to be in a written letter. It has to be documented.
Yes.
So can you get a lawyer and get this fixed? That's what they call. He was so good to me, and he directed me on what to do.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
So that's what you did.
Yeah.
So after you got the consent or the letter to say that is your daughter and there is nobody else who can claim her.
Yeah.
So when you went back, was it a long process or what happened?
No, I didn't go back. I was told to send that document.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was required of me is just to go back, verify my KCSE again, and then look for a lawyer to write for me a consent letter.
Okay.
And that's what I did. The consent letter, I was to send it through DHL.
Okay.
I wasn't not supposed to go back to the embassy.
Right.
Again.
Yeah.
So I sent it through DHL. And then I stayed for almost a month because I got my visa issued at the last moment.
You know what? Let me tell you one.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So when you texted me and you told me that you got the yellow letter, I was braiding another friend of mine's hair here. And then you texted me, I was like, oh my gosh, what? You need a more whatever? So I was kind of very, very worried about you. But since you told me that you had gotten the yellow paper and they needed more information, you would still get it, even if it was at the last minute or whatever. But it's important that you talked about that because most people are like, do I really need a consent? I don't know where the dad is. I have been taking care of my children. Why are they asking? So it's very, very important that you've heard from Anne that even without even having the dad's name included in the birth certificate, you still need something to show that you have sole custody of that child.
Yeah.
Because without that, then they won't let you come on here without that. And that's how US is. You find that even if you have a baby with someone, and even if they are not there, then you have to go to court and get sole custody. Without that, then that money is always included. So that's a very good point, Anne. So you have so you went back and then got your visa. Did they give you your visa or did they send it somewhere?
Yeah, they sent my. During the interview, I was told to leave my passport and all my documents. They were left with all my documents. I never carried anything. They were left with all my documents, so they sent my documents and the visa now on that particular. After mine went up to the current dates. Up to the 30th of September.
Okay, so yours was up to the 30th of September.
Yeah, that's when it was approved, and I got after like 2 days.
You got it after 2 days?
Yeah, it was sent through DHL after 2 days, and then I picked it up, and I was so happy.
So how did that feel? Were you? You must have been over the moon.
Yeah, it was the best feeling.
So did you have a challenge? So now you have your visa. You know that you're going to the US, and that's it. So what's the other challenge?
Oh,
airfare. Let's tell us about the airfare.
Did
you have like money?
Oh no.
You know, did you have like you have gotten the visa and this is the money, you go book the plane and then the next 3 days you are in the US. Is that how you did it?
No.
What did you do?
What happened between the time I went to the interview and the day I got my visa,
Mhm.
it took almost a month plus.
Mhm.
So during that day, I was so much stressed.
Mhm.
The visa got me at a surprise,
Mhm.
and I had not even prepared that I was going anywhere.
You hadn't prepared.
I was.
Had you quit your job?
No, I had not quit my job. I was
You were
still
still working.
I was still working, but I was not myself then.
Okay, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was so stressful for a whole month.
Mhm.
And then when I got my visa,
Mhm.
since I was thinking, now what do I do?
Mhm.
I was from the day I got my visa. That's the day it clicked to me. I have to get an air ticket now.
Oh my God.
I did have money.
You did have money.
I did have money.
So, did
I
you
did
do
have money.
harambe or did you sell your stuff or what did you do? Because you had to raise airfare
Of
for
course,
you, for
I
yourself
sent
and your
my
daughter.
stuffs.
Mhm.
I sent some of my stuff which I had,
Mhm.
and then I reached to a few people
Mhm.
here and there,
Mhm.
and they helped.
Okay, good.
And here I am.
So now you have boarded the plane and you're coming to the US, but you do not know who is Charity's Babu.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So at any one point, and you know it's good to be honest. Did you ever think that what if I get into the airport and she doesn't show up?
Exactly.
Did you have those thoughts?
I had mixed feelings.
Uh-huh.
I could see my daughter jumping down and down, up and down,
Uh-huh.
but I was not happy.
Like
I wasn't happy.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sad. I
Uh-huh.
had mixed feelings.
Uh-huh.
Even from the airport, I can see my people, my relatives
Uh-huh.
came to take me to the airport.
Oh, you were escorted to the airport.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my mom and my
Mhm.
siblings
Mhm.
and my cousins, they
Mhm.
came to take me to the airport.
Uh-huh.
So I could see them like they are very excited, but I wasn't excited at all.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know where I was going.
Uh-huh. That's one thing.
Yeah, I did go. I wasn't sure whether I would get someone.
Because I do remember when you asked me about the destination, I just sent you a text of ICT. I did do ICT.
Yeah.
That doesn't tell you much, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I had mixed feelings. Even in the plane, I
Uh-huh.
couldn't sleep.
You weren't able to sleep.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. You were
couldn't
worried.
sleep.
Uh-huh.
I was just so tired. I couldn't sleep.
Mhm.
I was just thinking, what if they don't show up?
Uh-huh.
What would I do?
Yeah.
Because I had watched one of your
My videos.
Yeah, one of your videos
Uh-huh.
saying that your host never showed up.
Yeah, he never showed up. Uh-huh.
So I was thinking this: what if it could happen the same to me?
Yes.
It wasn't a good experience.
It wasn't a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the other hand, when you told us, you called and you said that your plane had been delayed, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know how long it's gonna be delayed, but she said that it was delayed.
Yeah.
So we were so worried about you, like honestly. And
Yeah.
at one point, I remember my husband saying, "Just let it be.
Yeah.
Don't text her. Let her text you when she's here in Wichita."
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad that you guys came here. So, how is US for you? It's been 3 weeks.
It has been 3 weeks.
Mhm.
It's a good experience, a
Mhm.
nice place.
Mhm.
Though so cold,
Mhm.
but
It's very cold right
yeah.
now. Mhm.
Of course, there's cultural differences.
Mhm.
A lot is happening to us.
Mhm.
We go to church.
Yeah.
English language barrier is one of the things that I'm facing.
Yeah, the language barrier.
The language barrier is one thing that I'm facing.
Mhm.
And it's one day at a time.
Mhm.
We are moving on well.
Mhm.
And we are loving the place. We
Mhm.
have the best hosts.
We are
We
good.
just-
Oh, that is really good.
We just feel as if we are at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we thank God for everything.
Yeah, and thank you
Yeah.
for sharing. I really do appreciate you and for coming here to share your story with the other people and just to let them know that a green card is real. That is one
Yeah.
thing. And green card, even when you are single, you can get it.
Yeah.
And you can be able to raise your fare to come and live in the US.
Yeah.
And of course, I think your life changes. Even I need you to watch this video and the other one that we did, and you tell me you haven't seen a difference. There has to be a difference. US is different, guys. US is different. So I'm glad. So what do you want to tell people back at home or wherever that they're watching us? Because we are watched by many people.
Yeah.
Like what can you tell them about maybe your green card story or your experience or something just to encourage them? Is it true or is it a lie or whatever? Like what can you tell them?
I would tell everyone that wishes to migrate to the US,
Mm-hmm.
you should consider filling up the
The green card.
green card
Mm-hmm.
because it's too real.
Mm-hmm.
and is so ill,
Mm-hmm.
and then you should done the process.
Yeah.
It's a long process.
It is.
And it requires a lot of finances.
Yes.
So whenever you are selected, be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared to use money
Mm-hmm.
and have finances with you,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a long process.
Mm-hmm.
And I would encourage people to watch this channel
Mm-hmm.
very, very much, because this channel has really helped me.
Okay.
There's a lot that you need to learn about green card.
Oh yeah, there is.
Green card is a long process. It's a long process.
It is.
And you need someone to hold your hand, to show you how to go about it. Because when you do, you mess, maybe you're gonna lose your money, you lose your hope,
right?
Because maybe you can get selected and don't come to the US.
Yeah,
it's not guaranteed.
No, it's not.
It's not guaranteed.
It's not,
because it's a process up to the day you get your visa. Yeah. So I would encourage people to get information, to seek information in all ways. Yeah, because green card is not a joke.
No, it's not
a joke. It's a long process.
Now, this thing, and that I want to ask you before we close, before we end the show. There's this person who was telling me, is it possible for them to not have a host, and then they can come in and maybe they rent their house or they do all that stuff? Do you think that is possible? Because you've lived here now for 3 weeks. Do you think you can just come from Africa and you come and rent a house?
You have to have a host. You have to have a host, because if you can't, it's not easy. Even if the host will let you an apartment, you still need them in one way or another. Yes. Because this is a new country, and you have to. There are so many other things that you need someone to help you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's important, guys, that Anne has talked about that, and we are going to do more shows with her. If you ask questions on this video, and there are questions that you are going to ask, I'm going to bring her again, and then we are going to answer the questions. So Anne, I want to thank you, and you feel welcome in our home. We are going to support you until until you're fine, until you're okay. So guys, please watch our video, like it, share it with other people, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
That is good, and that's really good.